everyone, my name is Siri and I'm from Team Tech Troopers. Today I'm going to replicate this Amazon landing page. So first I started with creating a folder in my desktop and opening it with Visual Studio Code. And then I'm going to create a file for HTML, next.html, and a file for CSS, style.css. And here I'm going to start with basic dog of HTML. Here I'm going to change the title and also add an icon. And then I'm going to link our CSS file slash. Then I'm going to start with this header. First, I'm going to give an header tag with class header. And then inside this, I'm going to give a division of class container1, container header. Inside this division, I'm going to have all other divisions: logo, address, search, language, sign-in, orders, and cart divisions. First, I will have a logo container. Inside this logo container, I'm going to give a logo and a span tag. For the dot in, we're going to give a class name dot in. Then after that we have address container. For this, I'm going to have another division. Here I'm going to add a paragraph. Hello. I'm going to add a class name. For this icon here, I'm going to use Font Awesome. I'm going to copy this kit. Copy this kit and add it below here. Then in our address container, I'm going to have another container for icon address dot icon address. Here I'm going to add an icon as and another paragraph. Select your address, and then after this I'm going to add search container. Here I'm gonna add a select tag, class name, search select. So I'm going to give option, and here I'm going to have an input of type text. I'm going to add a class name, search input, and then have a placeholder, search amazon.in. Then I'm going to add another container. Inside I'm going to add an icon, and we are done with this search container. Next we're gonna add another container, language container. Language container. Inside language container I'm going to give an Indian flag. For that I'm going to take another division of class language image. So image /, here, and then I'm going to add a paragraph here. And after this division I'm going to have a login container, list, and here when we hover onto it we are having a pop-up. So for that I'm going to create another container, another division, dot menu display on hover. I'm going to give class names, account, and here I'm going to give an ID, header element. Here also ID, menu bar. So first I'm going to give a division over here, dot menu bar button. Here I'm going to give a button, sign in. I'm going to give a class name, sign in button. Next I'm going to add a paragraph, customer start here. And after this division I'm going to give another division for menu bar content. So in this division I'm gonna have two divisions, one of class name, your list, inside I have h4 your list, and I'm going to take an unordered list here with li tags, and I'm going to give anchor tags here, hash, create a wish list. I'm going to copy this, paste here, and I'm going to change this wish from any website discover your style, explore showroom. And after this division, I'm going to give another division of class name your account. Inside this, I'm going to give another heading h4 your account, then I'm going to give unordered list. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy it here 11 times. I'm going to change this. Your account, recommendations, then your prime membership. So after this, I'm going to add another container, order container, returns. I'm going to add a class name and another paragraph with class name, orders, and orders division, and then finally we're going to have a cart container. Here I'm going to add a icon of cart. Then I'm going to have a paragraph with class name, cart. So these are all the elements we required for our header tag, inside our header tag. So we're going to start styling our header tag. First I'm going to give border box sizing border box. Then for the body, margin 0 and background color RGB 230. Next, we're going to start styling our header. So first, dot header. We have to style all these things. For the header, I'm going to give background color RGB color RGB 1925 and 33. Then I'm going to give height 60 pixels and then color of the text white. And next, let's start with our container 1. Container 1. I'm going to give width 99%, height 100%, same as the header 60 pixels, margin auto, display flex. For everything, I want to give align item center, so everything will be in center. Next, for the logo container, here for the logo container, I'm gonna copy that and dot paste it. I'm gonna add a height 50 pixels, display flex, align items center, center, and then font size 1 rem. And for the logo, dot logo, I'm gonna give width and background. So I found this image from this website, so I'm gonna copy this and paste it here. And I'm gonna add height, width, height 120 pixels, width 120 pixels, height 50 pixels. Here you can see Amma. Height I'm going to give as 122 pixels and background repeat no repeat because I don't want to repeat the background position in the y-axis minus 40 pixels, and overflow hidden pixels, and height 50 pixels. Yeah. Then I'm going to style a dot in. I want I want a dot in to be little closer to this Amazon logo. So dot in position related margin left minus 120 12 pixels because I want it to move towards the left, and margin here I'm going to give margin top minus 5 pixels and padding right 8 pixels. Then I want to give a border hovering effect when I hover onto this logo. So I'm going to give border 0.01 pixels, solid, transparent, and when I hover on it, border, hover, I'm going to copy this and paste it, change this to white. Next, border radius would be 3 pixels, and cursor pointer. So you can see it has a hovering effect. Now, next we are going to style the address container. This address container, I'm going to add margin left 4 pixels and then padding 5 pixels and border, I'm going to copy this, Ctrl+C. Now for the paragraph in address container, P. Since we have margin for this paragraph, so I'm gonna remove that paragraph margin. Margin 0. Next, I'm going to add a hovering effect for this address container. Hover. I'm gonna copy this, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and I'm gonna change this into white because I want it to change to white whenever I hover onto it. Then same, border radius 3 pixels, cursor pointer. Next, for this icon address, Control C. I'm going to style that icon address. So first display flex, because I want it to be in same line. Previously it was in different line. Next, align items center. Next, font size, font weight, bold, and font size 0.9 rem. See, here we have a hovering effect, and also this part is bold. Next, I'm going to style this hello part. I want to change font size and padding. So dot, here I gave a class name hello. I'm going to add a font size 8 and padding left 18 pixels and color GB 196 195 195. Then for this icon location, I'm going to add a margin in the right 5 pixels. You can see I have a little space over here of 5 pixels. And then now I'm going to style the search container, this container. I'm going to add a margin left 12 pixels. Next, width 552 pixels. Display flex, I want them to be in a flex container. And height 40 pixels. Justify content, space between, and border radius 5 pixels. Next, overflow hidden. Next, I want to style this search select, width of 62 pixels, border none. Next, padding 7 pixels, background color RGBA 230 229 229 1. I'm going to use this alpha value because when I hover onto it, it will become little transparent. Color RGB 91 91 91. So I'm going to add a hover effect here. For search, select hover. So I want this background color to become little bit transparent, as you can see here. It is becoming little bit darker when we hover onto it. And then cursor pointer. Next we have search input. I'm gonna give width 100%, height 100%, border none, outline none, padding 10 pixels, font size 1.1 run. Next I'm going to style this search icon. So I'm gonna add width 55 pixels, background color RGB 243 189 102. Display flex next justify content center, align items center, font size 1.3 gram, and I want the color of the icon RGB 54 53 53. You can see this, and I'm gonna add a hovering effect for this. Search icon, hover, background color RGB 45 165 36, and cursor pointer. Here we can see the change of color, and I want to add hovering effect for this whole flex container. So search container, here I will add a hovering effect for this search container. Search container, hover, outline 3 pixels, solid orange. Next, cursor pointer. So after the hovering effect, Next, I want to style this language container. First, I'm gonna add margin left 17 pixels, padding 5 pixels, border 0.01 pixels, solid, transparent, and padding top 14 pixels, display flex. Next, for the language container paragraph, font size will be 0.9 rem. Next, font weight would be bold. And cursor margin 0. Next, I want to style the image, that Indian flag. Margin right 4 pixels. Dot language image img. I'm gonna add width 100%. You can see here. Now I want to add hovering effect here also. Dot language container hover. I'm gonna copy this. So next, I'm going to style the login container. Login container. Margin left again 20 pixels. Next, I'm gonna add this line. Padding 5 pixels. Login container paragraph margin 0. I want to remove the default margin. Next, I will add a hovering effect. Same as the other containers. Border radius 3 pixels and cursor pointer. Border radius 2 pixels. Next, for this account, I'm gonna add a font weight, bold, font size 0.9 rem. Similarly for sign in, font size 0.8 rem. Here we have this drop down, so we have to also style that drop down also. Copy this class name, background color white, height 400 pixels. width 500 pixels. Next margin top 5 pixels. Next margin left minus 230 pixels. Position absolute. I will give a Z index 1. Display none. I want it to display only when I hover onto it, so I'll give display none, and when I hover onto it I will give display block color black, align items center. So now I completed styling this menu bar on hover, menu display on hover. I gave align item. I gave an hovering effect. When I hover onto it, it should display block. And then for this menu bar button, I've styled it with margin and I've displayed it in flex container, and the flex direction would be column, so that here this button and the new customer paragraph will be in the top and bottom, not in a straight line. And then I align those items in center and I gave a font size 0.8 rem. And then for this menu bar content, I've displayed it in flex and gave a justify content space between, and I gave 10 pixel padding, and border top I gave some line on the top of the here I gave this line on the top, and next for this sign in button I styled the sign in button, giving the background color orange and outline and border radius. And next I have styled your list, all the unordered list headings and the elements in unordered list anchor tags. I gave margin, padding, color, and text decoration none, because for anchor tag there will be a default text decoration. I removed that decoration. And next I also did the same thing for your account division, this division. And then I created a I've created a JavaScript file here, and then I linked the JavaScript to my HTML in the bottom. Then I've so when I hover onto the this section, I want to show this as a block, this pop-up as a block. So I have done it using this JavaScript. So I used this get element by ID. I gave IDs. Here I gave ID, menu bar, and header element. So I assigned those IDs to this variables, and then when I used add event listener. So when the mouse is over it should be displayed as a block, and when the mouse is out, then it should display none. So I added here a time. So whenever we hover onto it, after 5 milliseconds, the pop-up will be shown. Then now we should style this section. So for that, so here I added the code for the order container. So I styled the order container. I gave margin 0, removing the default margin, padding 5 pixels, and border first I gave 0.01 pixels solid transparent. So when I hover onto it, it will turn white. And then border radius 3 pixels for the border and cursor pointer. And for the order and returns, for this order and returns, I gave font style, font weight, and font size. And moving on to our last container in the header, cart container. So for the cart container, I have added display as flex and margin left 15 pixels, padding 5 pixels, and also border. So it is transparent. When I hover onto it, it will be white, and border radius 3 pixels and cursor pointer. And for the paragraph, I've removed the default. I removed the default. I removed the default margin and added a margin on the top. And for the I tags, I've increased the font size for 1.5 rm for this icon, and then I've made the font weight as bold. So as you can see the output here, so cart, it is in bold, and I've increased this icon size, and it has a hovering effect. And we are done with our header part. Now let's move on to this navigation bar over here. So for the navigation bar, I took a nav tag with class name nav, and in that I have a division container 2 and container nav. So in that I have taken an unordered list. Here I have list with anchor tags, and also here I have an image. I've copied this image from here. I've copied the image address from here and pasted it here. And then I have another, here I have all the elements related to the navbar. And then, so here when I click on this, there will be a sidebar showing for us. So here I have given a sidebar container navigation, and I given an ID for that. Next, in this I have taken division. So here this is for the top, where it has this icon and hello sign in part. So I have given an icon over here and hello sign in, and then in the next division I have all the headings and paragraphs. Each division have different items, like slider items, and they will be divided with the border. So I styled it in the CSS. So in the navigation bar, I given the height and background color, and then in the container nav, I've displayed it in the flex and align the items in the center, and height, given the height 100%, and padding left I've given 20 pixels, because here we have only padding on the left side but not on the right side. So then I've styled the unordered list. I've removed all the all the default margin and padding and align them in the center with height 100%, and their color would be white. And I have removed the default list style and given them a font size and font family. Then I have added a border to the unordered list. So first it will be transparent, then when I hover onto it, it would turn white, and the border radius I gave 3 pixels and cursor pointer. Then I have removed the text decoration for the anchor tags and gave some padding for those anchor tags, and the and color I've changed it to white. And then in the nav image here, where I've added this image, so I've styled it. I've given the margin left 40 pixels, and then I removed the padding, and so I have added this border. When I hover onto it, it shows white border. And then I have image container. Then I have Then we have sidebar container navigation. So here I've fixed the position of it and display flex, and I've given top, bottom, right and left as 0, removing the I've given the top, bottom, right and left 0, removing the default top, bottom and right and left. And then I've given the z index 10, so that it would be on top of the top of everything. And then I have given this transform, so when it will transform negative 100%, and the background would be transparent. And then for the So here I have a slider show. When the sidebar is shown, the background will be turning into slightly black, and for this sidebar left part, I'm going to style. I'm going to give it the background color white and width 365 pixels and height 100%, and I will give a box shadow of 5 pixels and 10 pixels. And then I have a sidebar top, and the sidebar top I have this icon and hello sign in, that I'm going to display it in flex and display items in center, align items in center. And then I'm going to give font size 15 pixels and font weight bold, and then I give some padding and background color, and then I have given the text color as white. And then for the heading I've removed the default margin, and for the logo I've given a padding right as of 10, and then for the icon I've added padding right as 10 pixels and font size 25 pixels. Then for this sidebar items we have given a padding left of 35 pixels, and border top I've given a border 1 pixel solid of a color. Then font family, I've given a font family, and then for the heading I've changed the font size, and for the paragraph I've given a color of black, and then font size 0.85 rem and a font weight 500, and I have given some padding. And then for this I have given at the end I have given an icon for a X mark so that we can close the menu bar. So I've styled it. I've given the height and width and font size and color of the icon, and border I've given none, and background color is transparent and cursor pointer. Then at last, sidebar wrap is for all these three sections. I've given a height of 100%. I've hidden the overflow auto, and then padding of 50 pixels. And coming to the JavaScript, here I've given the IDs for the navigation, sidebar container navigation. And here for the cross button I've given an ID. So here by using get element by ID, I've assigned them to variable names, and here by using add even listener, when I click on that uh, bars, then it will toggle and show us the sidebar, and when I click on the cross button, it will toggle and close the uh, sidebar. For the clue, and for the this is for the opening of navigation bar. When I click on it, then I have added a class list toggle, and it will show us the slide bar. And then for the close button, when I click on the close button, it will remove the menu bar. So next, I want to add this image carousel for our web page. So for the image section, I have taken section and I have taken as division of class name image container, and I have 8 images in my container, which I have given inside the division of class name image list. Each image is given inside the division of image items. So I've copied the links of each image from the Amazon website, and here for the style I have given style 100% width 100%. And at the last, I have taken another division for the buttons. So here I've took a button of class slider buttons and given ID, one for slide button left and one for slide button right. For the slide button left, I have given angle left and icon, and for the slide button left, I've given angle left icon, and for the slide button right, I've given the angle right icon. And coming to the CSS here, first, I have given the image container position relative and overflow hidden, because I have to hide the all other images. Only I want to show only one image at once. And then image list, I have displayed it in flex container. And then image items maximum width I have given 100% and height 600 pixels, and transform 0.3 seconds. Then I have for the image I have given object fit cover, so that it can cover the whole the whole width and height. And then I have given for the image button container, for those buttons I have given position absolute and top 0, display as flex, and justify content space between, and width 100%, so that both so one would be on the left corner and one would be at the right corner. And for the slider buttons, I have given border 2.5 pixels solid transparent, and border radius is 3 pixels, and padding I have given 113 pixels, and 20 pixels and font size 50 pixels. Background color is transparent, and when I click on the button, I want the border to turn this blue color and outline to turn white color, and outline style I want it to be solid, and margin I want it to be 1 pixel. And for the JavaScript part, here I have in the index, here I have given ID for both my slider buttons, and also given ID for both my slider buttons. So I have assigned variables for them in the JavaScript, and image item me. So I have given the image items using uh, query selector, and then first I've took start slider as, so first I've assigned those IDs to the variables here, and I have took query selector all for those image items. I've assigned a variable for that too, and then first I've took the start slider as 0, and for the end slider I've took if I have 8 images, then length would be 8. So image item length minus 1 into 100. So for the slider button left, when I have given a add event listener. So when I click on the left button, if the slider button is less, if the starting slider is less than 0, then it will then the start slider will become start slider plus 100%, or else it will come back to the last picture. And for the right button, if the start slider is greater than or equals to minus end slider plus 100, then the start slider will move right, or else it will come back to the starting picture. And further, here I have given a render auto function, so that after 6 seconds the images would slide automatically. And here is the output. Then moving on to this product cards. So in this section, I have given a main tag with class name main, and also I have a division in class name card product container. So in the first division, I have a product card division in which I have another division called card 1. In here I have an heading and a division with a class name card image 1, and I have given the image over here, and an anchor tag for shop now, a paragraph with an anchor tag saying shop now. And for the second division, here I have a card product. It has an heading appliances for your home up to 50%, and inside this I have one more division, class product nested cards, because I have 4 cards. Here I have 4 cards nested, and I have given 4 images and name for each image. And then I have given a button here with class name card product button. See more, here I have given a see more text, and I have copied this card product again, and this is our last card. Here I have like a division of class sign in to, and here I have given a heading sign in your best for your best experience, and I have given a button for sign in securely, and I have given this class name as sign in button. And then again I have copied the copied the card product container division. I have copied the card product division again, and I have copied it 3 times. I have copied it 4 times. Coming to the CSS part of our product cards, here for the main I have given position relative and top minus 311 pixels, because as you can see these product cards are appearing on this image. So next I have given margin bottom as minus 290 pixels, and then here for the product card container, I have added padding left as 0 and padding right as 17 pixels, and I have displayed it in flex container and justify content space between. For the card 1 in the product card, I have given padding 5 pixels on top and bottom, 12 pixels on left and right, and background color white. Maximum width I have given 280 pixels and maximum height 550 pixels, and I have aligned the items in the center, and margin top is 20 pixels, and I have justified the content with space around. Then for the card image 1, in the paragraph I have given margin bottom 0, and for the anchor tag I have removed the text decoration, default text decoration, and changed the color. And next I have added a hovering effect, so whenever I hover onto it, it turns into orange color and text decoration would be underlined. And then for the image I have changed the height and width of the image, and object fit I've made it to cover this dimensions. And next for the card product I have given background color as white and display flex. I have given the flex direction of column and justify content space between. I have given the maximum width and maximum height. And for the heading in the product card division, I have removed the default margin and gave padding of 10 pixels. And in this class product nested card, I have displayed it in flex, and flex wrap is wrap, so that it would be in this grid format. And then for the paragraph I have given margin 5 pixel, and for the images here, for these images I have for these images I have given width and height and object fit cover. Then coming to the button, card product button, I have given font size 14 pixels, and I have aligned this button to the starting of the flex container, and I have changed the color, and margin top is 0 and margin right is 5 pixels, and background color is transparent, and border I have removed the default border. And then I have added a hovering effect, so whenever I hover onto it, the color changes to orange and text decoration would be underlined. And for the last card, here I have a class sign in 2. So here I have added background color white and padding 20 pixels and margin 250 pixels, and I have aligned the content in the center. And for the button over here I have given a button, I have given background color as orange, and I've removed the default border, and border radius would be 10 pixels, and have given the height and width of the button. So here is the output of the product cards. Next I want to add a back to top button, just like in the Amazon landing page. So here for the back to top button, I have given a division of class name back to top button, and here I have given a button. Here I've called the function top function. I've given an ID my button and title go to top, and it is back to top button. For the CSS part, I have given width 100% for my button, and then border, I have removed the default border, and outline also I have removed it. Then I have changed the background color, and the color of the text is white, and cursor is pointer, and then padding, I have added padding 15 pixels and font size 13 pixels, and margin top is 0. Then when I hover onto this, I want to change this alpha value here so that it will become little bit transparent. And then as for the JavaScript part, here I have used get element by ID. I have given this ID and assigned it to variable my button. So when I have used add event listener, when I click on it, I've called the function top function. Here the top function. So whenever I click on it, it should scroll to top equals to 0. You can see over here when I hover onto it, it changes color, and when I click on it, we are back to top. And the last thing I want to add to my page is this footer part. So for the footer, I have given the footer tag over here, and then I have given a division of footer container, and inside that division I have given a footer section. In that footer section, I have an heading, get to know you, and then unordered list. Here we have different list elements, and then I copied this footer section and pasted it 3 times, and I have changed this list elements and the heading. And for the CSS, here for the footer I have given a background color and padding on top and bottom and left and right, and I have changed the font family. And then in the font container I have displayed it in flex container, and the justify content is space between. And width, I have given maximum width 110 pixels and margin 0 and 0 on top and bottom, and auto for left and right. Next, footer section for the head. For the footer section H4, I've given font size 16 pixels and margin bottom 10 pixels, and I've given color white. And for the unordered list in the footer section, I have removed the list style, and padding and margin, I've removed padding and margin, default padding and margin. And for the list elements, I have given margin bottom 5 pixels. And for the anchor tags, I have removed the default text decoration, and I have decreased the font size 0.8 rem, and I have changed the color. And whenever I hover onto this anchor tags, I want a text decoration to be underlined. I want the text to be underlined. So I have added hovering effect over here, and here is the output. Here is the output. it has an hovering effect for every element. And when we click on this back to top, we go to back, we go to the top, and here this one, a sidebar, and then here we have a drop down, and we have hovering effects for all the elements. Thank you. Lastly, I want to thank GoCinQ for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for watching.